All right, so we are about to start. No, we good? Okay. So what we are going to do is we are going to do a very quick introduction of all of us, and then I'll request Jason to talk a little about Lenders One and Brad or Karen, whoever, like from Greg and Welby. Uh, so just a quick introduction, and then we are going to do the round. You good with that? Okay, awesome, awesome. So I think we start with three questions, like introduce yourself, what exactly you know about AI today, and what are your expectation out of this like 4 hour long training? Yeah.
I'm Tara Minconi. I work with Greg and Bobby.
Okay.
And my experience with AI is pretty limited. We've been kind of playing with prompts and things, but we haven't really dived in too deep. So I'm just kind of here to get an idea of how it can speed up maybe our day-to-day processes.
Awesome. Sir.
Patrick Rivers, Greg and Bobby, CTO, and I'm looking to the best way to implement this for the company.
Okay, awesome.
Kathy Purohit, technical lead at Greg and Bobby. I'm just here to learn more about AI and see what other players are doing and how we can implement those things in our firm.
Okay, and what exactly right now, how much you are versed with AI, like how much you are using it?
We're just getting started.
Okay,
Yeah.
awesome. Sir.
Yeah, Brian Huddleston, Scale Bank, warehouse lending. I use AI personally. I think we all talked about it.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
eventually
yeah,
I use
yeah.
Copilot or sometimes ChatGPT. But
Sure.
really was interested in coming here to learn what our clients are using it for and how they can use it, or well, like I said earlier when we were talking, how they could be replaced by it. So hopefully not.
Yeah, okay, awesome.
I don't know. HVAC techs, there's all kinds of options.
That's a topic you don't
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Jake Coleman with Extraco Banks out of Waco, Texas. I am the head of our capital markets and underwriting departments,
Awesome.
and I am here to learn, really, but been a big advocate of utilizing AI, and kind of like you, I do a lot mostly with Copilot and,
Awesome.
and some others, but we're also in the process of implementing some AI underwriting tools.
Okay, perfect.
So we're kind of dipping our toes in the water at this point.
Perfect. So best part about like till the time, best part about is like everybody's using it a little bit. So that's what I was talking to you. Like the harder the question, more we learn. I also will learn through the discussion and everything. So yes, sir. Okay, Jason.
That's okay. Jason Wright, Lenders One.
Yeah.
I always like just being in the room with the really smart guys to try to learn what's going on. And so I think it's interesting, especially from kind of what we do. We hear both from the vendor side of things that there's tons of AI going out there, but to really pull the curtain back and see what really they're talking about, I love finding out about that. And then from our lender side of the fence too, trying to be a source of knowledge to help them, just point them in the right direction for the AI tools that are really legit and have some everyday functionality. So that's what I was trying to learn. Thanks.
Awesome. Yes, sir.
Arturo Reyes with Vantage Bank. I work more from the commercial corporate banking side. Here in Houston, we're based out of McAllen, but we have offices San Antonio, McAllen, Dallas, Houston, Laredo, and El Paso. Interested to see how it's going to interact a lot more with the front-facing or decision-making side of it. We do have some AI in our structure, more on the back office, underwriting, financial spreads, analysis on that side, and also we do use it in our jobs more to be able to get breakdowns and summaries on industry data, specific clients, like, hey, can you please give me a brief background information on this company? And it just
It just give you
I've been trying to use it more, especially with companies that I already know.
Sure.
To kind of like, okay,
Validate.
confirm if
Okay,
this
yeah.
is true. And it is very accurate in some of those things. Even when some of the things that you could not find if you're doing Google search,
True.
that's what very interesting. I mean, some of the companies that I've been able to receive some feedback, their website is very limited in information, and you'll get a lot of information from it. So
Sure.
it's very useful because it helps you save time, basically.
I agree.
Interesting to learn what you
Sure.
guys do.
Awesome. So,
Yeah, I'm Brad Will with Greg and Bounty. I'm one of the partners at the firm. I'm a lawyer by trade. I'm fascinated by technology. I remember I took a course in graduate school that has stuck with me and influenced how I learn about things as they iterate over time. That was I remember the course was basically study the history of the writing media from the ancient papyrus to paper to today electronic. Similarly, in our law practice, from the fax machine of 20 years ago to today, things are always changing. You hear about, well, you guys are going to get replaced by AI. Boy, that's scary, right? First of all, I don't want to be replaced by AI.
yeah.
And as I learn, I don't think it's going to replace me anytime soon.
Sure.
I want it to stay that way.
Sure.
And that's just on the professional level. And I think on the personal level, I've got a wife and 2 daughters who are very artsy. They are completely against AI. They think AI has no soul. AI is
Yeah.
just copyright infringement,
Yeah.
theft, all of that thing. Right?
Yeah.
So I also see from a young kid's daughters, they're just starting their career. If they are going to be so close-minded about it, how are they going to deal with AI coming of age in the next 10, 20 years?
Sure.
Are they going to be able to compete if they are closed-minded about it? So I kind of want to model for them.
Yeah.
You may have your opinion, but if it's new technology, you may have to embrace it in order to just survive.
You have
Those are
to.
the reason that I'm here.
Awesome. Awesome. So, Jason, you wanted to talk a few words about Lenders One and
Sure.
yeah.
Sure. Officially kick us off, I guess. There you go.
Yeah.
Do I need to start?
I think we will.
It's okay. That's okay. We good? Okay. So, Lenders One. This is actually the second time we've done this event with Awesome Technologies. We did it out of Dallas a few months ago, and I think it's hugely important, as kind of what everybody was touching on, just what exactly is AI and how much of it is out there, what's coming, and is it going to impact and is it going to take all of our jobs and all that kind of stuff. So this is great, and I know the plan, at least for Lenders One and Awesome Technologies, we're going to expand this. We all did this kind of locally since we're all relatively close to Dallas and Houston. But we're going to do this all across the country for the benefit of all of our members, which leads to kind of a little bit about what Lenders One is all about. And so we are a mortgage cooperative. We have north of 250 at this point lending institutions, banks, credit unions, IMBs from all over the country of all shapes and sizes that join us for a multitude of reasons. We have 80 plus products and services that we offer our members at discounted rates that most of them can't get on their own. And so we try to leverage networking, education, which is what this is, along with high quality products that everybody needs to do their day-to-day mortgage lives at, like I said, great prices. So I love this. This is one of those opportunities to really learn. Like I joked over there, these truly are very, very smart guys, and they do a lot of great things. And it's always, I don't know if I've actually ever even told them, but whenever I'm with one of our lenders and we're going through all of the vendors and products and services we have, when we get to Awesome Technologies, I fully admit, I'm like, man, this one's really hard to give you a one sentence of what they do because they do kind of a little bit of everything. And I've heard Noir say it before, and this is actually what I usually leave with these guys is if you have a problem in your workflow or a process or something that you believe should be smoother or easier to do, these guys can probably fix it for you. So, just like last time, I'm fully intending to learn even more today than I did when we did this in Dallas. And so appreciate you guys all being here. I think we'll have some stragglers that were texting me coming in as we're going, but appreciate it. And I guess with that, it is
Nick or Noor, you wanted to?
next.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
thank you.
Thanks, guys, for joining us today. I don't want to go and talk about things because they already covered most of the items. For me, like AI is not going to replace anyone. I'll tell you one thing, that AI is going to replace the people who don't want to adopt it. So that is definitely going to happen. And that can be done quickly, actually. Within 5 years, you are going to see that. So just want to make sure that you guys understand Surani is like, I call him Professor Surani. So he's like wealth of knowledge on AI. And in the middle section, I'm going to take a little bit of time and I will show you how I'm using all those tools in my day-to-day life. So I think you are going to learn a lot.
Looking forward.
Good luck.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much.
Quick
Thank you so much.
housekeeping, we're gonna have a break around 10:30, am I right, Ronnie?
I think we'll
Yeah.
see the tempo actually, so yeah.
There's food back there, we're gonna have lunch around noon, it's gonna be served at noon. We wanna make this as interactive as possible, so please jump in. Restrooms are around the corner there. Surani, if you notice, has a very heavy southern Texas accent. Understand him, feel free to jump in
Yeah.
and ask, okay? He's used to that type of work, so.
Yeah.
That said, enjoy this. Hopefully, you guys will get a lot out of this. Like, go ahead.
I want
Okay.
to add one more thing,
Sure.
that the lunch section we have is lunch and learn. So what we are going to do, we are going to, like, is what you call it, Surani, that
So yeah, we are going to work use case activity during that time. So we are going to identify use cases and what we can implement after the sessions, what we have understood and what can be done, those kind of things.
So
Yeah.
that is very important actually. That use cases thing is very like helpful for most of us. How we are going to use in our business.
All right.
Awesome.
Right.
Yeah. And again, thank you very much for our partners, Brecken Valley and Vendors One, for doing this. We're excited, really excited. So have fun, enjoy,
Yeah.
and ask questions.
Okay. Yeah. So I normally start with this slide, and there are a few quotes which we are going to talk about, and from there, normally what we do is we actually talk about 7 stages of AI, but I recently read a book with the name of If Anyone Builds It, Everyone Will Die. So that's a very good introduction of AI altogether, the AI we are in. But that slide deck has spoilers, so if all of you agree, then I'm going to run that slide. Otherwise, you're good with that? Okay, awesome. So, right, so, sir, can you read this for me, please?
Horses are here to stay, but the automobile is only a novelty, a fad.
And who said this? Right. So we're going to go with another one. Patrick, can you read it for me, please?
Telephone has too many shortcomings. It's seriously considered as a medium of communication.
And who said this? Right. And the final one we're going to talk about. Brett, can you do me the favor, please?
I think there is a world market for maybe 5 computers.
And who said this? So whenever any new technology comes in, everybody has like doubts on those items. and over here we are to clear those doubts, ask questions. I'm also going to learn from you all that what you all are using and what you think AI is, where we are going with the AI. So let's start. So I'm going to start with that book and talk a little about that, where we stand with generative AI. And so today's discussion is all about generative AI, and this book basically, the writers actually wrote this book in a very like pessimistic way though, but we are going to see that where we are, how actually AI is performing, and this will help us understand that what we can do as a business to actually leverage this AI, right? So this book actually says that the AI which we built is capable of taking everything from us, and they have dialogue, and they also have like different analogies, and we are going to see that what exactly. So there are a few chapters which we already are there, and there are things which has to come, and we are going to see that how actually it works, right? So start with chapter 1, and that is called intelligence equals to prediction plus steering, right? So whenever we talk about intelligence, so it is all about predictions. So how many of you agree that war will continue and Third World War will happen in the next 5 years? Raise your hand. Any of you agree on that, right? So there are a couple of people actually who agrees, right? So basically this is what we tell intelligence, and intelligence is basically based off of predictions. So for example, if there is a borrower with a 760 credit score and 51 DTI, so what kind of borrower it is? Good or bad or ugly? Good, right? So this is how we predict things, right? So similarly, the underwriter looks at the bank statements and other documents and understand that whether this borrower will do fraud or not, and all of those items are based out of intelligence. So the first chapter actually talks about intelligence, and we can see that OpenAI, Claude, Gemini, all of them actually reached this specific intelligence level. And how they did it, like we have fed a lot of data to AI, and based off of that data it predicts, and we are going to see that how actually that thing works. Then chapter 2 is like AI is grown, and this needs to be understood, right? So earlier when we used to write code, so how many of you actually know DU and LP? Right, so mortgage people definitely know desktop underwriter and LP from Freddie and Fannie. So basically, what it does is it is based off of conditions, like if then else kind of conditions. So if borrower has this thing, then allow this and stuff like that, right? But AI actually don't work like that. It is grown, and how it is grown? It is grown from neural networks. So we have to understand that no one in the universe, even the people who have built AI, can actually predict what AI will do on a specific level. So why it is there? Because like AI has, we have provided a lot of data. Like, so for example, if we talk about X, Grok is the AI which has read the entire Twitter and X. If we talk about Meta, so Meta AI has read entire Facebook and WhatsApp and all of those guys, and make sense of that. OpenAI has several cases going on because it has read the entire internet and the books. And when we loaded all the data, it actually starts predicting. So today's generative AI is basically is not logic itself, but it predicts based off of a lot of data. And we are basically here, and we haven't created the if then else logics inside. So that's why people actually are afraid with the AI that whether it's going to take the right decision or it will not take the right decision. So that is basically the chapter 2 of this specific book says that it is not if then else condition, but it will do based off of data. Then number 3 thing is this book talks about generality. So if you have so in today's Chat GPT and Gemini, whoever or Copilot, whatever you're using, so people ask for recipes, people ask for dressing, people ask for health conditions, and people ask for like mortgage related things also. So all of those items actually correlate, because if you have taught something to AI, similarly like us, if we have learned something about like some specific kind of food, we understand that the Western food, how it will look like, and Eastern food, how it will look like. So it basically is generalizing things. You understand one thing and you can do other thing also. So that is also related to generalization. So you can see that basically AI came out of the generalization, and if you've taught it one thing and you can go for the other. So these are the top three chapters, and we are going to come back on this specific book in a little bit. But first, let's start with our outline. So 3 things which we are going to talk about, like what basically generative AI is, that by the end of this thing we are going to learn that thing, and how lenders can take advantage of the AI which we are using today, and finally the use cases. So all of us are using the basic Chat GPT, and there is a chat interface, but we are going to understand that how otherwise we can leverage the AI and how we can put AI at the back end of the process. All of those items we are going to discuss in today's session also. So, the Chat GPT or Gemini is an interface where we type our prompt and it will give us an answer. That is basically called chatbot. But the AI today is beyond chatbot and how basically it is. So let's talk about that a little bit. AI can primarily create content, code, and media. 3 things basically AI is doing on the context of content, code, and media. So content, everybody knows that if we ask some test question, it will answer us accordingly. Media, everybody knows that if we type create this specific image or video, it will create that image. But there is a thing which is called code. Code is primarily very important because all of us who are working in an office setup, most of the time we are working on code. So either we are using Excel, Encompass, Byte, some other LOS. So everything is basically code, and because AI can generate that code, the power of AI is too much. So today if you use Claude and create a PowerPoint slide, or if you do some analysis on Claude, it is primarily at the back end creating code and doing everything based out of code. So first thing which AI can do is create, and it can create content, code, and media. Second thing what AI can do is it can understand documents. So earlier we do have OCR where your machine can read the documents, but it cannot understand the document. But today's AI basically understand document, data, and knowledge. So if I provide a spreadsheet of thousands of borrowers, and it can identify that what kind of borrowers we have. So that AI can do today, it can understand it. And third thing it can do is like it can execute also. So earlier when we were in the chatbot era, AI is not able to execute anything. So today, as soon as we progress with the session, we are going to see that how to create agents ourselves. So how to create scheduled jobs which can automatically run, go to folders and do stuff like that. So we are going to learn. So today's AI can actually execute stuff. So in execution, there are 2 main things. One is workflow, other one is task. when we talk about workflows, so if you have heard of Zapier or Make.com, what you can do is you can embed AI in between your workflow. So AI can take decisions, read documents, create something. That is all the part of workflow. And the tasks are basically it can perform some task, and we are going to look at this thing that what exactly tasks are. So you can do two things with AI. One is automation, which we talked about, like you can automate your entire end-to-end process. So for example, if you wanted to automate your processing, you can do that thing with AI. And number two thing, which all of us are doing, is we can also augment AI. When we say augment AI, we are extending our capacity. So if we wanted to create a presentation or if we wanted to analyze data, we can use AI to actually augment us. So there are things which is called like AI underwriting, but normally that is not exactly AI underwriting, because we pre-underwrite that thing and we give that badge to an underwriter to decide on top of that, right? So basically we are augmenting underwriter to do things faster than what exactly we already have at this point in time, right? So let me talk a little about the stages. So number one is first when we started AI, that is all if then else decisions. So DULP, all of those items are if then else decisions. You provided some data, and based off of that data, it works something out of that. Stage two is context aware AI. So quite a few people out of here knows that earlier we have system which can read documents. So I think Capsilon, right, Nick was working on that organization that actually reads the documents, but they are not that capable. It only works on the documents which you have already trained. So they are kind of context aware in one way or the other. Stage three is basically narrow AI. So there are like AIs before 2022 also who are like taking decisions, but they are on a specific item. They are intelligent, and they with ML and narrow AI you can identify fraud, and all of those items are available in stage 3. We are at stage 4, and that is generative AI. And generative AI is all about thinking and taking decisions. So we are going to do a small activity over here and understand that how thinking actually works, right? So let's talk about thinking. And so there is a word written over here, and I want you all to think the next best word. So all of you, all right, all right. So can you tell what word you have thought about? Guess the next best word. When you read it, what comes in your mind? Underwriting, right? So basically mortgage underwriting. Can you give me the third word? Like mortgage underwriting, add something on that.
Automation.
Automation. So mortgage underwriting, automation. So we did that. And if we complete this sentence, right? So can you please complete the sentence, Patrick? You can complete this sentence, mortgage underwriting, automation. Add some word and complete this.
Is growing.
Mortgage underwriting automation is growing, right? So basically what we are doing is we are thinking, but we are primarily predicting the next best word. So let's do another examples, right? So I'm going to tell you a sentence and you have to complete the story. So once upon a time,
There was a man.
there was a man. Nick?
Who was with the woman?
Who was with a woman? Jason, you wanted to complete that?
Trying to get a mortgage.
Trying to get a mortgage. All right. So when we talked about once upon a time, nobody directly talked about mortgage though, but actually Jason bring that thing, right? Or if we, for example, if we talk once upon a time there was a lion, so we might not talk about mortgage and context of lion, right? So that's how actually today's AI works. So all of us has created this sentence and this language, and primary language is the power of generative AI, and all the guesswork AI is doing is based out of language. So why we did this exercise? So we understand that when AI takes any underwriting predictions, so for example, if I have a data where it says that credit score is this, so AI knows credit score. When we say DTI, AI knows DTI, and we take credit score and DTI and appraisal and say that this property is in this specific vicinity. So AI, how AI knows? So for example, if I talk about Houston versus New York versus California, so AI understands all of those items, and how it understands based off of whatever data which we have loaded in the AI, and it actually predicts the next best word. So today's whatever we are working with, like Gemini released quite a few things yesterday. So there was Google's I/O conference, and they released quite a few things on that I/O conference, and they have provided their model of Gemini 3.5. So all of these models today are predicting the next best word, and based off of the data which we have provided till now, right? So that is basically thinking. We are going to talk about a few vocabulary, because when we work on any specific item, we should know the vocabulary, and once we know the vocabulary, we can use it better. So number one thing is prompt. So when we started our prompt, when we asked, I told you that complete this sentence. So that was an instruction, and that is a prompt. So whenever we work with generative AI, so prompt is the first word which we know. And then there is a thing called a context. So when we completed this sentence that once upon a time there was a man with a woman applying for a mortgage, now we have the entire context. And if we complete this sentence, definitely we are going to go for they are finding a home, or they are finding a mortgage company, or they wanted to create better their credit scoring. So that everything runs around that specific context. So whenever we are chatting with either ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, anything, the chat you are in, that is called your context. So it is very important that whenever we do something new, we start a new context and work on that thing only. Otherwise, ChatGPT or whatever AI is there, that will get confused, right? So that is the second thing, context. Tokens are also an important thing in the AI world. So anyone knows what exactly tokens are? And we are going to share entire detailed handouts also with you all. So it will be, an email will be coming to your way with the handouts and everything. So tokens are basically the currency of AI. So whenever you communicate, so if a prompt like once upon a time there was a man with a woman looking for a mortgage, so there are like say 12 words, 15 words, and all of those words are basically tokens. So simple way of understanding it is like one token is around 4 characters. So if I have 100,000 words in a paragraph, it's approximately 75,000 tokens. Why this is important? Because whenever you apply anything on AI, it charges you based upon your tokens. And the context is also important related to tokens. So for example, right now, the largest context which is available with any AI is with Gemini, and it allows you to use 2 million tokens. So 2 million tokens is like approximately 1.5 million words we are talking about. So when you load 1.5 million words and ask anything from that specific context, so it actually replies, right? So clarity, so different, whenever we are using a model, we have to understand that how large the context it can handle, and the context is handled based off of tokens. Does this make sense, right? Then next token prediction, we already did it in the activity. So now there are two things. One is called deterministic, other one is called probabilistic. So when you ask the same question to 3 different AIs, and even if all of us asks the same question to the same AI, it will respond differently, right? So if I ask, all of us ask the AI that write a story about a kid, so it give us a different story. Why it gave us a different story? Because it works on probabilistic things. So it is not if then else, but it actually works behind the scenes as a neural network, and it pulls all the data which it has and provide you result out of that. Clarity? So prompt is the instruction which we give, context is the entire context which we are talking about, token is the number of words, sort of. Next token prediction, we already did the exercise, like it is thinking, and probability is like which word should come next. So for example, if I, in probability, if I talk about that once upon a time there was a lion, jungle's probability is higher than Houston, right? So that's how actually AI decides that what word should come next and stuff like that. And response is what AI give you a response. There is a thing called, which is called LLM, and that is large language models. So there are different kind of large language models. So Gemini's LLM is Gemini 3.5, that is the latest large language model. Similarly, if we go to Claude, so Claude has Sonnet 3.5, Opus 3.7, different models. Claude has different models. Similarly, if we talk about ChatGPT, so OpenAI, O3 and other models are available in. So those are all LLMs and large language models. And how basically that is built. So there are two things. One is called the data. So you have fed the entire data, like millions of words, to that specific LLM. And there is another thing which is called weights. So for example, if Greg and Welby is designing their own AI model, so what they can do is they can provide that if someone asks this, these are the weights on base of which you have to take the decision. So LLM is basically part of two parts of LLM. One is the data itself, other one is weight. So you provide that which word is near to what, that is basically weights. Then there is another thing called foundation model. So whenever we work with foundation model, that is a generalized version of your model, and based off that foundation model, you further train your AI and work on different things. So, for example, if you have Opus 4.7 or Gemini 3.5, what you wanted to do is you wanted to train that data based off a specific guideline. So that is called your training data. And because the general foundation model knows generally about everything, but if you provide a specific related case, it will actually provide you data related to that. So we can upload that data based off of that specific thing. There's a thing called hallucination. How many of you actually know what hallucination is?
Not in this context.
Yeah. General context.
LSD.
Yeah. Jason, you wanted to share in general context, not in AI context?
Hallucination is
Yeah.
where you think you see something that's not there.
Yeah. Like you're thinking that you're sitting in a class training and you're not.
Right.
Yeah, right. So basically, AI also do hallucinate, and we have to understand that how we can minimize that hallucination, and we are going to discuss about that through also in a little bit. And there is a term called system prompt. So system prompt is primarily the foundation prompt. So whenever someone comes to you and tries to sell any AI, so that specific AI has two things. One is your training data, other one is your system prompt. So whenever, if someone is coming to you to sell you AI underwriter, or for example, AI processing assistant, or in some other field, maybe legal decision making AI, something along those lines. So it should have one foundation model that is over there, and you should have a training data, and then you should have a system prompt. Yes.
So, yeah, so Norm, it's interesting to me the hallucination idea.
Yes.
Because to me, whether you're, because we all use AI, right, for personal stuff,
Sure.
right? You'll ask any question that you obviously don't know the answer, it's why you're asking it. And I always am kind of like, how do I know that's right?
Yeah.
And specifically, if you bring it back to the mortgage world,
Sure.
somebody might be using AI to ask some obscure regulation.
Sure.
Guideline or something. Same thing to me. To me, that's one of my biggest things about it. Is like, how do you know when it's right?
Sure. So there are several ways, and we are going to learn those ways at how we can specify. But just to answer your question, in AI, there is a term that is temperature. So the highest temperature is it is more creative and it can hallucinate more. So in the world, whatever innovation is in the world, so someone has actually hallucinated to be creative, right? So if something is not existing, I have to do the creative process, and creative process is never deterministic. You have to think about something which don't exist, and that's why hallucination or creativity is mandatory. So if you want the AI model to be more creative, you give the temperature higher temperature, and a temperature can be from 0 to 1. And if you want it to be more deterministic, you can provide the temperature, and that is also behind the scenes whoever is designing your AI will do. So, and we are going to see that how we can avoid hallucination while asking the question, because we are in the mortgage world, so we are going to learn about those tricks also. So training data, system prompt, and foundation model, these are the three things. Whoever your vendor is and whatever they're doing these three things as far as AI is concerned. They might have some front end where you can upload your document. They might have some front end where you can answer a few questions. But at the back end, foundation model, training data, and system prompt, those are the three things which you are going to use, right? So again, the question is, FICO is 780, 30% down to 26% DTI, stable income, significant reserves. What kind of borrower it is? Eligible, right? It's a good. So how we did that? Prediction. And how we predicted that? Because we have learned in the mortgage industry that credit score should be greater than this, and DTI should be this, and stable income should be there. Similarly, reserves should be there. So we know these words, and based off those words, we did our own predictions. So similarly, the foundation model, training data, and system prompt, these three things teach the AI to do what you want it to do, all right? So all of us are clear? So where do you think as a mortgage industry, so whenever we work in any technology, so these are the places where everybody is. So where do you think mortgage industry falls in this specific chart? You agree? Everybody agrees? So let's see whether it is correct or not. Yes, it is. And the reason is there are like regulatory friction, right? And the problem is there is a thing called black box. AI is a black box, right? You cannot do the decisions like if then else. And that's a problem. That's what Jason said, right? That how we know that it is correct. And that is the entire problem of AI. So the creators of AI also don't know. So when I was talking about that book, so there are instances in the world. So Claude actually tried to fake itself to actually to the creator of Claude. So AI already did quite a few things which are already there. So that's a problem for us. But there are ways where we can actually, and then repurchase exposure. You know that if your loan is not qualified, it cannot be repurchased. So that's a problem. Again, auditably, so there are, and these are the reasons why mortgage companies are still on the late majority. And there is a thing also called innovation theater. So whenever you talk with anyone that are you using any AI, so they say yes. And what they are doing is their website has that chatbot which is talking to a client and answering the results. So that is also AI, but that is not kind of like improving your process that much, but you are definitely saving bodies. So someone is replying on those chat boxes, you are actually saving bodies on that side, right? And we are going to talk about that also. And definitely legacy systems and cultural resistance are there. So that's so. The funny thing about AI is like there is no programming at all. So you can ask the simple question to AI, and AI basically respond you on those questions. So what you do is you ask simple questions to AI, and basically AI respond to those questions, and you can do it in your, like I can also primarily in Pakistan we used to speak in Urdu. So if I ask AI in Urdu, it can also answer me according to that. So the other day we were going with a client, so he asked from Grok in Spanish, so it replied in Spanish. So AI and language is the new AI. So earlier, whenever we have to program, we have to use C# or Visual Basic on all of those languages. But today we can write everything based off of directly on the computer. So that is also possible in today's AI. So language is the primary thing which we do in the AI. So whenever we work on AI, there are different models, foundation models available, and when to use what is the question. So there is a website that's called artificial analysis. So I'm going to go to a website. Artificialanalysis.ai. This is a website that provides you all the foundation models and provide you which one is the best model today. So this will help your company to identify that which model to use. So there are three primary pillars for this. Number one is intelligence, speed, and price. So intelligence, how we identify intelligence of any AI. There are different kind of tests available. So there is a test called Humanity's Last Exam. So that actually tests AI on one level. There is a mathematical exam that is called MMLU. There is another exam that is software engineering exam that is called SWE. So there are different kind of tests which general regular bodies do for the AI, and based off of that they basically identify that how intelligent the model is. Then there is another thing which is called speed. Speed is also important. So if you're talking to some AI and asking about, like, tell me about your services, and if that AI thinks for like 10 seconds, today it is not acceptable, right? So OpenAI, Gemini, every model has provided that thing that it gives you the answers right away. And Noor is going to discuss about that also in one of his activities. So speed wise, everything is there, and the price is also important. So everybody who's using AI, number of tokens, how many dollars you have to pay per million tokens. So that is also important. So these are three values on which every AI out there is being identified. So so this is a little activity, and we are going to. Gartner is an organization all of you actually know, and do different standards on different things. So where do you think generative AI is, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? Do you want it to guess?
Probably a 3.
Probably a 3. Anyone? Brad, do you have any guesses?
Around 4, I would say.
4, okay. You want to do?
I think we're 3 because, I mean, Elon Musk is still saying it's going to kill us all.
Yeah, it didn't start it yet, right? You wanted to guess, sir? Same thing. Okay. So there is a very wonderful website that's called, though it don't provide you that where exactly it is, but there's a website called trends.google.com, right? This is a website actually provide you the trend where any specific search term is trending. So let's see that what it says, right? So have you ever heard of NFT, right? Non-fungible tokens. It actually came into play a little bit back, but it was a fake thing. Then do you know about metaverse? So Mark Zuckerberg spent like 10 billion with B dollars on this technology, and it was a failed technology, right? So that's metaverse and blockchain, you know. So all of these you can see there's a spike, and everything has a curve. And now we are going to search for AI and see that where AI stands in comparison to them. Oops. Right, so all of those are like at the bottom though, and AI is still actually going upwards. So trending wise, AI is still going upwards, and there are too many things which needs to be explored with in connection to AI. So the decision and everything is basically about to come. So we talked about language, we talked about models, we talked about different things. So this is, I think, the most important portion of today's discussion, that is thinking beyond chatbots. And we are going to talk about that what exactly we do have with us. So number one thing is chatbots. All of us use chatbots these days, that we ask a question and chatbots answer us, and now we know that it answers based on the foundation model which we already have. Then number two thing is called wrappers, and we are going to create a couple of things on wrappers right now, right here. a little bit. So what exactly wrappers are? Wrappers are an interface, and your AI sits behind the wall. So you ask the wrapper might have some boxes in front of you. You give some data and it will take some decision. Wrapper might, so for example, all of us actually use Google Maps. So at the back end, Google Maps have that wrap. So Google Map is itself a wrapper, but at the back end, you have the LLM. If you know that YouTube recently, in their Google I/O conference, let me show you this thing. In Google I/O conference, they released quite a few things, but there is a great thing which they actually. So if I go to YouTube, and if I go to generative AI for banking, and if I go to this specific video, so now Google recently released in Google I/O conference is Ask. I can ask question to this video. So I can just click over here and ask any questions. For example, give me top 3 points discussed. So instead of watching a 1-hour video, I can directly ask from YouTube, and they just released it in Google I/O, right? So this is a wrapper, and how it works is like it has the entire video's transcript at the back end, and whenever we ask any question, Gemini actually provide the transcript to the AI, give my question and give me the answer. So if there is a podcast of 1 hour, 40 minutes, so while we were coming from Dallas to Houston, we were watching, like Noor was showing us that how the Third World War will happen. So we were watching that podcast. We can directly ask that question, right, to the YouTube video now in today's world. And this is a wrapper. So think about it, if what else you can do in your specific context, right? If you have data at the back end, foundation model you already have, you provide the training data, you provide the system prompt, and your wrapper can do different stuff over here. Right? So we are going to see a couple of wrappers right now and see that how those wrappers work. So let's go to Sir, I need a couple of minutes if you can come over here. All right. So what we are going to do is, like, you just have to describe some application interface you wanted to build, maybe mortgage, underwriting, or whatever. You are just going to speak, and AI will build that thing for us. So let me do that.
Oh, you are using Figma for that?
Yes, sir. Can you come over here?
You have to
Speak.
Build a mortgage underwriting app.
Okay, that's enough. So what we did is, like, you can sit, sir. Thank you so much for that. So we just said a very simple one-liner prompt. We can give a very large prompt where we can say that mortgage underwriting app should accept documents, that should process AI, whatever. And this specific app will build a UI or user interface for you. So earlier, whenever we were building applications, we sit on a room and we discuss that whether this field should come over here or not. But today you can do it with this like that, right? Just speak that thing out and it will build something for you. So there is an LOS called Byte Pro, if you've heard of. So they recently provided a tool where you can write macros, byte macros, using your prompt. So think about it. Earlier, you have to have those developers who will write your conditions and everything on byte. One of our tool is called Setting Analyzer, where you can write code for Encompass using AI. You just click on that specific button, tell that what exactly you want, and you can build that. And you can also speak that thing out. So for speaking, in Windows 11, you have Window H is a shortcut key. You just click Window H and speak, it will automatically type for you. So you can do that thing quickly for you right over there. So it's working, let it work, and we are going to come back to this specific interface. So this is one of the wrappers which we did. So one wrapper which we saw is YouTube. You can ask YouTube. One wrapper we saw in Figma, you can ask Figma. So there are so many. So for example, we create flowcharts, and for creating those flowcharts take like at least a few hours for us, right? But there are applications out there which ask what you wanted to do, and it will create those flowcharts for you, right? So let's see. So why we are talking about wrappers? So behind the scene, wrappers do have that foundation model. And in front of you, you do have the language which you ask. So for example, if I'm going to create a new flowchart over here, a diagram with AI, still working.
It was very, I think it required a lot of,
Resources?
because you didn't say anything particular, right?
So I have built with AI, and I can say, create a detailed workflow of mortgage underwriting. Again, this is also a wrapper, right? So you just ask that thing, and behind the scene, it is just doing the foundation model, and it will create a workflow, a detailed workflow for us. While it is doing it, we are going to look at this guy. This guy is still working. Right? So think about it. So what we can do behind the scenes with just asking the questions. So Encompass, I've told you that we have a tool. Byte already have a tool. Encompass is also working. They might come with a tool. So whenever we are working in a tool, think about it. We can just ask question to that tool, and it can do. So this is a mortgage underwriting workflow, and we can see and zoom in. So if I have to create this workflow myself, so it will take ages, right? So order appraisal, fraud identity verification, document verification. Look at this, right? And every tool out there have this AI capability today, and that can create different things for us. So number one, which we discussed about is chatbots. Number two, we talked about wrappers. And you can create wrappers in your industry also, like in your environment also. Third thing is called workflows. So you can create workflows which will decide on behalf of you. So Zapier or Make.com, all of those items are workflows which take decisions on behalf of you. So why this is important? Even if it is not doing your 100% work today, but if you start using it and start creating something today, it will definitely benefit you one way or the other in the future, right? So, and finally, there is a thing which is called AI agents. So I wanted to learn from you, like Patrick, what exactly you think AI agents are.
Multiple workflows chained together?
So one thing is multiple workflows chained together. Anyone else wanted to? Yes, please.
Bots that act independently
Yeah, so bots that act. So primarily, you provide a goal to AI. So the flowchart is kind of an agent also at the back end. Why it was an agent? It actually distributed that it has identified that underwriting has this flow, and I have to do if then else. Then I have to create all the images. So that is one kind of an agent, and let me also. So you provide a goal to your agent, and agent has different sub goals also, and so this is the entire flow chart which was created, like LE and receive SLA and 1003. So think about it. At the back end, what it is doing, it's an agent. So agent has a goal to create a flow chart, and that agent has provided those tasks to different sub agents, and they have done their task and created this specific workflow for us. So that is the fourth step in the entire chain. Anyone else wanted to, like, this is a good example though, that we assign a task and it do it in the back end. That is one kind of agent. Anyone else have any idea of agent, any real world use case you wanted to discuss?
Well, I think I was telling you about the.
Sure, you can share with the, yeah.
The car dealership where I thought I was talking to a real
Sure.
person and actually got me on my text, and I made an appointment with, I think it was Kathy, I think that was her name.
Sure.
And I went to the dealership and walked in and they asked me who I had an appointment with. I said Kathy. They said, oh, well, that's our AI bot.
AI
that we've
bot.
been talking to. You actually have an appointment with this guy Jose. That's who I need to get from. So I was like, oh my God, I feel like an idiot.
So now let's dissect this specific use case, right? So he was talking to Kathy, and Kathy is an agent. Why it's an agent? Because Kathy has the foundation model at the back end. It has the training data, that what exactly Kathy has to ask. She's not going to talk about like where you're doing your dinner today. You can ask her and she will actually divert from there and again bring you to the point. But that is like agent basically communicates based off foundation model and training data. And at the same time, when that agent has to ask email address, phone number, when he can visit, and once he provide all of those information, agent will use tools. What exactly tools are? Agent did some appointment setter. She did appointment setting for you, right? So she, it or she or whatever it is. So it actually did the appointment setting for you. So that's what agent can do. So agent have a goal. Definitely agent do have a foundation model, training data, system prompt, and a goal. And agent can also use tools. And agent may have also sub-agents too. So how you can do that, right? So let me show you one thing over here while we are talking about agents. So there is a term, very popular term. Any of you have ever heard of MCP? So there is a very popular term called MCP, that is called Model Context Protocol. And that is a language of agents. So agents can talk to other agents. So for example, you are talking to Kathy, she is like front desk agent. And what she can do is she can ask a backend agent to book an appointment for him for this day and this date as a language. And that agent will actually post that thing in your. So earlier, have you all heard about APIs? There's a term called API. Whenever we talk about integration, everybody tells that do your system have APIs? So APIs are the technical term. So developers have to code to communicate with APIs. But these MCP servers are like they knows the APIs and they take their own decision and provide you details. So let me show you a very simple example of what exactly APIs are and MCP servers are. So have you ever heard of HubSpot? It's a CRM, right? A popular CRM. Similarly, we have Salesforce and others. So if I ask from HubSpot, get the most important customers I should meet this week. So what it will do is, it will go to my HubSpot. It will identify based on the data in my HubSpot and look at the deals which are the high value deals and look at the people which I haven't done a meeting in the last couple of weeks, and it will pull the data from a HubSpot. Look at this, it will do that. So this is basically MCP, and at the back end HubSpot is running, and I'm going to show you after Noor's session, I'm going to show you how you can connect your MCP with Encompass. So that's what we are going to talk about. So look at this. It has provided me that these are the deals, and I can just click over here and view this specific deal on HubSpot. It will go to Chrome and open that HubSpot deal. Think about it. You can ask questions directly about your entire CRM pipeline. And you can also ask everything about your entire, for example, if you are an Encompass, you can ask about your pipeline, who all the borrowers I have to attend today. I can just ask that question and it will actually answer me that specific question. Try Face ID, sorry about that. So you see how it did it? Actually, it provided me, it extracted everything from my AI. So this is called MCP, and that's how AI agents basically works, right? So do you all have any questions till now? Otherwise, I think we can take a short break, or what do you think? Right? So do you have any questions on like what exactly chatbots are, what wrappers are, what workflow automation is, and what AI agent is? And we talked about AI agent, we talked about MCP, that how AI agents communicate with each other. Anyone have any questions on this? You can ask about your own use case, anything you wanted to ask.
Just theoretically, like the AI agents, let's say, could you potentially deploy some kind of a tool that says, you know, I'm going to put in $5,000 this month. I'm going to have an AI agent invest for me and just deploy the $5,000 within the next 30 days, bring me the best return. Is that possible?
It is possible. Basically, with crypto, AI agents can actually invest for you also. And there are people who are working on this also, that how AI agents can work. So this agent have to look at the market, have to look at the geopolitics situation, have to look at the news, the companies which are available to us, what other companies are doing, what are the news, what are the current news. It can take the decision for you and also invest, because AI agents can use tools. So through tools, it can invest on your behalf also. And using crypto, why again crypto is taking a hike. Right now it's down, but like it will take hike because crypto is the only currency through which you can actually do all of these items, right? So people are doing this today.
I think Autopilot has, I think it started about a month ago. They have a Claude portfolio that they've been using to see
To see the returns. Right now they are in the test phase because it can actually burn all your money, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Like that.
But one of the things that I read that that it said that it was doing is that it's based on predictability of stocks.
Sure, yeah,
It
definitely.
takes into consideration like current news and stuff like that, but it was more based on predictability. And I think it does 5 or 6 trades a day,
Yeah.
in and out.
Yeah.
So they've been tracking.
And you can also provide the range and stuff like that. So, for example, if Trump do a tweet in the morning, it can decide that what I should do or not do, right? So, because it has all the information and what is the historical impact of those kind of tweets also, right? So, these are the 4 things which we are pausing over here, and let's have coffee and stuff, and we can continue in like 10 minutes, right? Thank you. So let's talk about, while we are talking about agent, what we are going to do is we are going to test another agent. We checked Figma for creating user interface. This is a free app, Figma, and you can create your user interface because as a leader, you have to describe screens to people and things like that. So what you can do is I'm going to share these assets with you also. The website is called figma.com, and in Figma you can provide your AI prompt to create the entire user interface. So user interface is a funny thing. There is a abbreviation called IKVC. IKVC stands for I know it when I see it. So at times what happens is like whenever the screen comes in front of us, then we know that, oh, okay, we have to do this, we have to do this, we have to do this. So you can just go to figma.com and provide your prompt over there the way I think he provided the prompt, and it will create the entire user interface for you. So for any screen, so for example, even on Encompass, Byte, even on your proprietary screens, at times we wanted to create some screen on like legal disclosure or whatever, we just provide us it a prompt and it will create that thing. Similarly, we have another app called Eraser.io. So for AI flowcharts, you can use Eraser.io to create AI flowcharts. The app I used is Lucid.app, which created the entire large kind of workflow. So you can do that. So important thing is to understand how to prompt, and the prompt will create. And today, in today's day and age, everybody is providing you AI related things. So I wanted to talk a little about as a mortgage company or whatever company we are in. So there is a problem. So there are 2 companies. One is Lucid.app and Eraser.io. Both of them, we are understanding actually a theme over here. Both of them are flowchart generator companies. But Lucid.app exists for ages, like at least 10 years plus in there. Eraser.io is AI first. So you will find AI first companies also. You will find older companies who are introducing AI also. So why it is important for us, if we don't introduce AI within our business, whether it is legal, it is mortgage, secondary, post-closing, someone else will introduce that. And while we were talking before the session, if someone else will introduce, there are 2 things which is going to happen. Either they are going to make more profit than us. It's a bad thing, someone else make profit. And either they are going to reduce their prices. Again, we are in the fix. So it's important that we pick up things at the right time. Even it is like maybe it is faulty to start with, but we have to introduce those items in our workflow one way or the other. So for example, if we are giving some legal advice or law form, we have a form from where user can type something, but we should provide some chatbot where they can ask the right question, and it is very easy these days. So while we were on the break, Patrick actually asked me that that how API is connected to AI agents. So as we have talked that AI can generate code, and that is, in my opinion, is the most dangerous or most valuable thing. Because AI can code, so AI understand APIs, AI understand everything. So if your application provides an API, you can create MCP server on top of that. And what MCP server will do, you can ask question as I did for the HubSpot, and because AI knows how to code and it understands HubSpot APIs, it automatically talks to HubSpot. Okay, and today also you can do this kind of thing, which I'm going to show you in a little bit in Copilot also, but we are going to see that how it goes. So we were here, and we are going to move a little ahead. So I'm going to show you a voice agent, that how voice agent will work, the scenario or the use case which you talked about. So this is a voice agent, and the tool is called 11 Labs. Just give me a second. We actually wanted to show you something. I have to message Adnan, please message. I asked Adnan to actually provide it to you. So this is called system prompt. So now let's understand system prompt. This is a voice agent which can talk to anyone, and we have provided a character over here. And in the next session, we are going to learn, immediately after this, we are going to learn about prompting a little bit. After that, Noor will come and discuss with us. So personality, we have provided a personality over here. You are Joe, a mindfulness coach specializing in stress reduction, blah, blah, blah. So this is what the system prompt for this agent is. We can always say that you are a loan officer, which is helpful and help borrowers understand loan program, right? So we can provide our own system prompt over here.
Just like what he explained about Kathy, right?
Yes, Kathy is the same thing. And the environment is this, and the tone is this. We can tell it. So for example, if you are creating some legal advice kind of a thing, and if you want that specific bot to be very deterministic and non-creative, only goes by book of law. So we can provide tone over here that it will do this, right? And then we actually provide simple things over here. So let's talk with this specific bot, and we are going to see that how it works. So sir, can you come here for me, please? So this is a system prompt defined that this basically is a mindfulness coach.
What was the business here? Stress
This is mindfulness coach, right? And it will actually talk to you about mindfulness. Okay, so try to derail it, like talk about different things and see that how actually it comes to its own thing, right? So let's.
What is the best wine to have with my lunch?
I think just give me a second. I'm not sure. Let me go back and start conversation here. Playground. So here this is mindfulness coach, and I'm going to talk.
What is the best wine to have with my lunch? Oh, is it muted? Maybe
No,
it's
no, no,
muted.
it's muted. I don't think so. It should not be muted. Mute is here, it's on mute. Can you hear us? Support agent, let me try this.
No. I think.
Can you hear me? It should actually reply.
Looks like it's hearing.
Maybe taking time a little bit.
Is your volume up?
My volume is like up at this point. Eh, Is it connected with this?
Yeah, it is connected. Network, right?
Yeah. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? No, I don't think so. It's working for me right now. But this is, we'll do this activity, sorry about that again. So what happened is we actually provided this coach a system prompt. And that system prompt basically decides that what this agent will do. So sales agent and video character, we have different agents over there, and support agent will answer our support related queries. Other agents will answer our different queries. So we can talk to this agent. This is basically 11 labs, and there are other tools available out there which can ask us question, take our information, and call tools at the back end and store the data, everything along those lines. So, no, this will end the call, Noor. Yeah. so this will end the call. But we are going to do it once Noor is here. I'll set it up, and we're going to discuss that how actually it works. So those are all the things related to agents. And let me move forward a little bit. So now we are going to, yes.
So this tool that you were just trying to show us, you could actually give it input and create the desired kind of agent.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Like a coach.
Coach.
Or like a commercial banker.
Yes, sir.
Or
Legal advisor.
Okay.
So you already, you have to understand, like that's why we did the theory. You have foundation model already. Foundation model knows English and how to communicate. Now you train that foundation model on your data. So it is possible that there are like 12,000 pages of data which you load in this model. And there is a system prompt which actually defines that how your agent will behave, what questions it should ask, and what are the tools it's going to use. So that is how agents work. So there is an interface with the user. There are tools at the back end. Foundation model is already there. And there is a system prompt which defines that what it needs to do.
so basically you have to customize the agent by providing it with the necessary tools so that it can perform the functions you want.
You are correct. So why we are learning this? So whoever the vendor is, so vendor are what vendor is doing. Vendor is using the same foundation model which everyone is using. It is not possible for any vendor today to invest billions of dollars and create some new AI like Claude Part 2. We cannot create, and any large vendor cannot, because billions of dollars, that's what you need. So foundation model is the same. The data is available with the customers. You have your own data, you have your own data, you all have your own data. We will embed that data in your foundation model, right? So that is called RAG. retrieval augmented generation. So in RAG, what we do is we provide our PDFs, we provide our items to that specific RAG, and that will actually do the trick. And then there is a third thing which is called system prompt. So you have the same data, but one agent might be providing details to your internal staff. That agent might be providing more details, more information, maybe pricing, how much you can discount. The same data system prompt is changed to a customer. Nick is, for example, a customer. It will provide different data to Nick. And we are going to demo that thing in a little bit also. Yes, yes, please.
So if you create this thing, and let's say your client's going to use it, right? They're asking questions, and it doesn't have the information. How can you capture that information so that you can build it in?
So it's a very good question. So I'm going to tell you one trick that is for hallucination, but for your scenario, we are going to tweak that trick, right? So we discussed that we are going to talk about that how we can avoid hallucination. So one of the simplest thing we can do is ask AI, tell us I don't know when it don't know. That's an instruction, and that is a system instruction. Similarly, I can tell AI that send the detail which you don't know. If there is a question which you don't know, send the detail to this tool. Okay, so Patrick, your team can build something on top of chatbot, and that chatbot knows that if someone asks something which your bot don't know, it will trigger to you. It will send an email to you or whatever format it will be. All right, and we are going to see it in a little bit. So that is system prompt, and we are going to talk about prompts in a little bit. So this is how actually any AI system, whoever the vendor is, this is the framework how they works. So once you know this, you know that what actually your vendor is doing, and you can go negotiate and understand that how difficult or how easy it is. So at the bottom, you have infrastructure. So if you've heard of AWS, Azure, so all of those items are infrastructure items. Then we have foundation layer, right? So that is all the LLMs, Claude, and other items over there. Then you have platform layer. So for example, how many of you ever heard of AWS Bedrock? You've heard of AWS? Amazon, yeah. So Amazon have this layer till platform, and this layer is called AWS Bedrock. So what Bedrock commits to you, that you know that Amazon is SOC 2 certified, Amazon is HIPAA certified. So if you are storing your client's PII and other information, or client is asking something from you, so you can safely store that thing on AWS. And what AWS Bedrock performs is till this platform layer. And you can provide information that AWS should not take any PIIs. It should refuse if we ask some questions. You can do all the configuration within AWS Bedrock, right? And on top of that, this is the only thing which your vendors are doing. That is the value creation, right? So your vendor is creating your grounding layer, like your guidelines, your document, your Encompass data, your LOS data. So this is the layer which your vendor is doing. So grounding that thing. And this is where the system prompts come in. Then there is an agent layer, how it is going to communicate with you. It can be a phone call, it can be a chat bot, it can be a voice bot, it can be I take my picture and it performs something on that. So all of those are interfaces to your chatbot. And then your application layer. So we have seen that Figma is an application, but there is a chatbot section from where we actually created that interface. That 11 Labs is an application, but there is a system prompt which we have provided. So that is your application layer, and then you get the business outcome. So whenever you actually implement any AI, it has only these things in it. And these are 1 and 2 layers where your AI vendor comes into play. This is your platform people, this is you, and this is where your vendors come into play. Clarity? So whenever now someone says that I'm going to create your a chatbot on your website, so primarily that vendor is what it is doing. They are using their like AI which is available, and they are training that AI based on your documents and your information, and providing you an interface. That's simple, right?
That simple is taking like billions of dollars.
Yeah. So like there are people out there who are charging a lot of money, fortune out of you, but they are doing this primarily. Okay. So let me. So we are going to go to prompt engineering, and I'm going to talk about only 7 items on the prompt. So I'm not going to go too much theoretically, but I'm just going to talk about 7 items which we are actually, which I regularly use as a prompt, right? So whenever we write a prompt, number 1 framework is called RACE. RACE stands for role, action, context, and expectation. So these are the 4 items which we give to anyone. This is called RACE. So normally I can just ask someone that write an email about our new products. This is a vague prompt, right? Before, it's a vague prompt. Write me an email about our new products, right? This is a vague prompt. But if I follow the RACE framework, so I can provide, number 1, I can provide a role. So we first understand the role. If I am a CFO, I can look at financial statement differently. If I am a CEO, I look at differently. If I am a CRO, Chief Risk Officer, I might look at the financial statement differently. So I can provide the role, how the AI will behave. Role is very, very important. And whenever we provide a role, it actually brings with all the properties which that role has. So if you are a salesperson, that role will completely differentiate from an accounting person. And then action, launch, and write a launch email. Context, we have a SaaS product, audience is HR director, expectation 150 word, subject line, and CTA at the end. CTA is call to action at the end. So this is basically RACE framework. So whenever you create a prompt with role, action, context, and expectation, it will create a great prompt for you, and I use it regularly. And I'm going to share this slide deck with you also, so you can use. So this is how actually it works. So I can role, you are a senior HR business partner, write a 90-day onboarding plan, new hire as a sales director joining in a 200% SaaS company, expectation is structured week by week, right? So this is a very clear prompt, and it will actually help us to define our expectations, right? Any question on RACE? Simple, to the point. Have any questions? All good? Yes.
I was just thinking, you know, I use Copilot.
Okay. Sure.
Not a lot. And the funny thing about Copilot is, from months of using it, it always circles back to my business, which
Sure.
is, do you want me to put this question in the context of how this impacts warehouse vendors?
Oh,
It
yeah.
always does that to me.
Oh my God.
And I don't know if that has anything to do with how I'm asking questions or.
So you can provide the context at the same time. It also has, so for example, if I ask, I wish it, let me do one thing. So what you need to do is you have to ask your chatbot and it will tell you a lot about you. I hope it don't tell something bad about me. Look at this. I'm Pakistani business, right? All right, so it knows everything. So I'm part of also Mizmo AI glossary, so it knows that, right? So all of these items, okay? So if I can ask video, if I ask it what kind, of personality I am, 3 sentences. Oh, I hope. So it will actually tell a lot. So it didn't give me. So you are someone who moves fast, expects the same from others, with little patience. Oh, right. So for vague and watered down outputs, you operate at the intersection of strategy execution, meaning you can zoom out of the boardroom, blah blah blah, and you also have an entrepreneurial mindset or whatever. So you can ask your chatbot how much it knows about you. So when you ask that, it will tell you that. And I can always ask a question, don't look at my previous context and give me unbiased output. So this, if you start with this, it will actually forget all your old context and it will talk to you as a generic person also. So that's also possible, right? And the best part about generative AI is you can write general English and you can change this sentence, right? It is my sentence. You can change it in your own way, that forget about my previous history or whatever, right? And you can ask the question. So first thing which we learned about is the RACE framework. And I'm just going to talk about the frameworks which I use very regularly and will not bore you with like theory. So the next thing is like InStyle. This is a very perfect example. So for example, if I ask ChatGPT, let's go to ChatGPT instead of Claude. This is very amazing thing, right? This is called InStyle prompting, right? So I asked him, should I marry? And I asked it to answer me in style of, look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Bad idea, disaster. You don't do it because everyone says time's up. This is Donald Trump, right? But this is not for fun. InStyle prompting is a great way of doing a lot of things. So for example, if I ask ChatGPT to, for example, give me a presentation in style of McKinsey. So because it can copy Trump's style, it can also copy McKinsey's style, right? It can also copy for example, some other MBA, Mortgage Banker Association style, or whatever I want. So InStyle prompting is another way, and I use it all the times. So what kind of audience I am talking to, and what kind of response. So BCG is a very great company. OpenAI Enterprise is a great company because that's all software houses. You can talk about like, give me something related to like Chase. So InStyle prompting is a very great thing. Apart from Donald Trump, you can do a lot of other things too, right? So you can identify the best people who communicate in your industry and tell it to in style of those people, for example. Right? So that's called in style prompting. Then we have another style, another prompting style, and this is all I use on a daily basis. Dollar value frame. So if I ask ChatGPT to build a presentation with all the instruction, but if I ask ChatGPT or any other one and provide a $50,000 product, it will change that answer, right? So if I ask that create a presentation which a consultant produced for $100,000, so it will change the style for a consultant who charge you that much money. So dollar value is another. So first one is race, role, action, context, expectation. Number two is in style, where you can provide in style. Number three is dollar value. You can provide ChatGPT or Claude their output to a dollar value, and it will change its response. You can witness that, right? Then one thing I use on a daily basis, that is called chain of thought, and what I do is on a very regular basis, so what I did is, like, I just provided a prompt, because you cannot type everything in one sitting, and this is very problematic. You don't, and again, when ChatGPT responds you primarily defocus from there, right? So I asked ChatGPT, I want you to start a business, don't respond until I ask you to respond, right? I can give the context. So I have, for example, it will not respond. I can give it the context, it's waiting, right? And so I can talk and talk and talk. I can come tomorrow, day after tomorrow, feed the entire context, and then I can just ask it to respond. And as soon as I type respond, it will give me a response based on whatever I have provided it. Okay, so this helps me a lot on items which I have to think myself, right? Otherwise, ChatGPT will spit out lots of information which will defocus me, right? So it's giving me everything based on what I have provided. So this is basically chain of thought prompting. And then we have ask first prompting, and I do it a lot. So whenever I write a prompt, I ask ChatGPT or Claude. So let's do that. I want to start a business. Ask so I assigned it or him or her or whatever to ask me the relevant questions, right? So it will ask me all the questions, and look at this, all the questions are here. Okay, and this is a long list, but I can tell it ask top 3 questions, for example. So that way, what will happen is it will ask me the relevant questions and give me the relevant result, right? So first we understood race. Number 2 is the Donald Trump or in style prompting. Number 3 is dollar value prompting. Number 4 is ask. So it is asking the relevant question, and once I give the answer to these questions, it will actually respond me accordingly. Then we have summarization, but I'll go with persona stacking, and this is a good one actually. Persona stacking is like we can ask the same prompt with two different perspectives. So look at this. Review this business case. I can upload any business case or any financial statement or any underwriting thing with two different hats. A CFO who has skilled project for weak ROI assumption, and a COO focused on operational risk and execution feasibility. So you have to understand this is negative prompting. I have asked it to play a negative role, but with two different roles. Now what will happen is it will give me perspective of a CFO and it will give me a perspective of COO. CFO who killed the project for low ROI and CEO who resisted the project due to operational inefficiencies. Think about it. You just frame a couple of lines and it will give you different responses. And before Noor, you ready to come?
Still not here, but
Okay, okay,
I can go with that.
okay. And what final prompt, I'm going to tell you negative prompting, that is as a final item for me. So let me show you one thing first and then. So I'm going to Gemini. Oh, Gemini. In Gemini, I'll go to my previous chat and I'm going to show you some picture over here and will show you Gemini. Just give me a minute, please. Okay, so this is, let's watch something first and then so it created clone of myself, and what I did is basically I just provided a prompt over here. This is a video, it is not very clear on the multimedia though, but what I did is I actually uploaded a few of my headshots, and this is a negative prompt. You should not do, or just we have provided negative prompt. So there is a prompt, you should do that, and there are items you should not do. Okay, so you can use it in your prompting also. This is called negative prompting, where you ask AI not to do this. So for example, not to be creative. That is one thing which is you can provide in negative prompting. You ready to go? So should I give it to you over there or you're coming over here? Okay.
If you guys need any break or anything, please go ahead. And I will be there in few seconds.
And once we are done with this session, we are going to talk about use cases and a couple of more things. So,
You ready? No break? No bio break? Okay. Okay, so I'm not a teacher. I'm not going to talk about the things which is like theory. It's just like what I do in my daily routine work, how I perform and how I'm going to do things. So this I use Gemini like Google product a lot because I think it's giving me what usually, like when you, sorry, when you use, like nowadays, you have like hundreds of items, right? Like if you look at the tools, there are every one come with new tool every other day. So if you are in that race, you are not going to achieve anything. So what I did is like I stuck with two tools. As Surani was working with you and showing, he always liked to use ChatGPT. I like to use Gemini for that same purpose. Now, if you look at my screen, it's not that very clear, but what I did here is I request Gemini to write a prompt for me. I don't do that. I just like request, I send my prompt to this product, and I ask them, write a detailed prompt for 3-statement financial model for plot for Excel. I'm going to provide last 5 years of P&L, balance sheet, and cash flow statement in 3 separate Excel files. And you can see that it's very small prompt. I'm not writing anything detailed, right? But it wrote a detailed prompt for me. I'm going to share with you this. I copy this prompt, and what I did is I open the Excel, attach my Claude, log into Claude using the Excel, which I'm going to show you in a minute, and run the process. It takes 10 minutes for me, but I will show you what the results will be, and you will be amazed by that result. It's like if I hire a CFO to do that work, they take at least 2-3 days to do all that work. That's so detailed. And we are going to talk about it in a minute. That's one thing. This is how I use Gemini in my daily routine work. Sometimes I just request Gemini to write an email to, I have like 10 branch managers, their performances in the Excel sheet, and I ask, just write an email so I can talk about the performance. Like if they are negative, it's positive. If it's positive, give them praise from my side. And if it's negative, ask them like to buck up. You are falling behind. So it write an email, it's do that thing, and it's and I in my prompt I say, okay, don't send the email, just write an email in my Gmail in my draft account, and I will review it and I'll send it. So what it does is just like really I had to just click the button to send. That's that type of work it is doing. Sorry. And I'll show you what I mean by that. I'm writing this thing here, and this is not the same exact scenario which I talked about, but a similar thing. It's going to run, and if you notice, I say that act as Noor Panjwani, the owner of Marvel Shop. This is my URL. These are my clients. I'm not getting any business from them for last 1 year. And it created the email for me for individual people that why we are not connecting with them. And then when I send, it literally send the email, and I'm going to get in on my email address basically. hopefully I'll get in a minute here. But the purpose of showing you this exercise is like you can do too many things with even with the these type of LLMs like Gemini or ChatGPT or any other like Claude. So you can do a lot of things. Now, next tool I use is Notebook LM, and Notebook LM is really if you remember, Surani was talking about deterministic and probabilistic. I don't know plots. Sorry, but that is the Notebook LM is deterministic. Whatever source you provide, it's only going to respond based on that sources. So, for example, I do a research for guidelines from Freddie, Fannie. I have all the website links. I just uploaded that, and when I ask question, I will ask whatever question is going to ask, just it will provide the answer from that only those sources. So that's a very good thing because there is no hallucination or something, right? It's giving you exact answer from the documentation. Yeah, it depends what documentation you are uploading. If you are uploading the garbage, obviously you are going to get the wrong results. But if you are uploading the right documents or right sources, you are going to get the right results. So let me go here and so this is a guideline search I did, right? All the sources uploaded, there are around 52 sources I uploaded, and they are from reliable sources, not from anywhere else. All of them are either from Freddie Mac, Fannie Mae, or SECs. So all these documents are there. Now, I can ask any questions from those sources. That, for example, I just want to ask, this is one of my, I want to create a standard operating procedures from Freddie Mac for construction to permanent loan product. Now, it's a SOP, right? It created the whole SOP for me, and I will copy this in the Word document so you can see how it looks like. It created the whole process for me. Now, I have in Word document, I can make modification according to whatever changes I need, I can do that. But if you notice, executive summary, operation objective, what the objectives are, what the market segment is, and like maximum loan to value, everything which is like based on the guideline, it created for me. The only thing is like you have to make sure that you are providing the right sources. That's one example. If you have any question on this one. So this is a free version which I'm using in front of you, but I have two versions, right? If you notice, I use this one is free version, and the other one is, this is a paid version. And I will show you the difference. Actually, it's not too much difference. In free version, you can upload up to 50 sources. Okay. In a paid version, you can go like beyond 50. Surani, how much is 100 or more?
So for free, you go
no.
50, paid you have 300 sources.
300 sources.
So
and
you basically preload all the sources you want the software to look at.
Correct, yes. And I will talk about a few other things in like the other thing is like I can do pin. So I can pin on the top, which is like whatever I'm working on, it's this is only available in a paid sources, not in the free sources. I will share with you one really. We were thinking about selling a piece of our business to some other company, right? So I talked to the guy who was a M&A company. I'm sharing with you a real example. So when we talked about it, me and Surani were on the phone. We recorded the conversation, and then I asked them to send the contract. He sent me the contract. So whatever, if you notice, here is the video, and then here is the business consulting agreement with the M&A. If you notice, there is a three portion of this. Number one is source, where you are uploading the source. Center one, you can chat with the product that what we are going to get out of this product. You can ask any question about these videos or this contract. Like, let's say how much fees they are charging. And it will based on these sources, it is going to answer me that they are charging like 8% or something. So it's reading, calculating the cost, and base commission is 7 or 8%. Like it gives me all this information from the contract, whatever I want to ask. On the right side, you see the studio. This is a really nice thing to do. Basically, what they do is you can create your audio. Like I don't have time. I have like 20 documents to read. I just run the audio on my car back to home. I just listen to that. It summarizes the all the documents, and it will show me, like it will talk about this. So I will share with you what, for example, I'm running this.
It's arguably one of the hard things. You pour your blood, your sweat, and countless sleepless nights into making something from literally nothing.
Oh, absolutely. It consumes your entire
Right. But here's a terrifying thought for you. Selling that.
This discussion is based on the documents or video I uploaded. They are just created the audio podcast for me, so I can listen to my to that audio podcast when I'm leaving. We are doing a lot of these type of things for daily basis, actually, on the routine. Like we have a meeting every day in the morning, and we record all our personal meeting. Like I'm talking about as a company. We discuss, like Surani may be showing you that what we do, and he can compare that. Okay, Noor, you said this on X date, but now you are changing your. So he can catch me every time there is if I say something wrong.
Which is every day.
Yeah.
Actually trying to cash out without getting completely taken for a ride. Okay.
So there is there's one more thing here.
Bring in cash immediately. Building software products, though, that requires massive upfront investment before you see a single dime of return.
Now, this is the audio podcast, right? I can ask the same questions. Like I can ask the questions in between. Let me see that. Okay. You see the join button in between? I can join the conversation between these two guys.
Oh, absolutely. It consumes your entire life.
Right. But here's a terrifying. Oh, hey, I think our listeners got something to say.
Can you tell me what is the fees they are asking? Sorry.
Oh, yeah. Go on.
Can you tell me what is the fees they are asking? Something with the internet here or what?
Oh, I love that you're jumping in. I think you might mean fees instead of fees.
Though, to be fair, a successful business sale can definitely feel like a massive feast at the end.
That is so true. Okay, let's unpack these fees because they are a huge part of the deal.
What's fascinating here is that the broker, National Industry Network, typically charges an 8% commission fee.
Here's where it gets really interesting though. They often try to pass that fee to the buyer.
It connects to the bigger picture of why sell. Oh, back to our listener. What's up?
You are saying that 8%, but I saw something like 20%. I think just a delay in the response.
Oh, you have a sharp eye for detail. That's exactly what we talk about critical thinking.
Seriously, you spotted that 20% tucked away in the success fee section, didn't you?
It's actually a bonus for the consultant if they sell the business for more than the target.
Okay, let's unpack this. If they aim for 5.8 million but get more, they take 20%.
So now think about that you are discussing this during your ride to home, and you are listening to the podcast and you want to ask certain questions. You can in between ask this question like while driving, and it will answer you that particular answer to your particular question. Anything you want to learn here or want to see?
So this was a pre-recorded podcast that you were listening to, or?
No, this is not a like what happened that when you come here and upload your sources, you
created the podcast for you to understand.
so yes.
So the actual system took the actual audio plus the actual contract to create a podcast so you can listen to the entire conversation plus the contract details on your ride home instead of reading 20 pages and you can ask things to the podcast.
Wow.
So like things are moving fast nowadays. Like you are busy doing all the work in the day, and then obviously you don't have time to go through the 100 page of contract. So you just upload the contract and you talk about this. Now, the very good thing it did for me actually, it read the contract, and I asked this to create a presentation for me. And look at this, what it did. It's completely different from my whatever we discuss on the phone, and when I receive the contract, it gives me exactly what like on the video page and whatever is in the PDF, the comparison between these two. Who pays the fees? Like really, in the video, he's saying that buyer is going to pay the fees, but in contract it says you are responsible for it. So it's like you can see that it's a critical level, and it listed out everything. And then at the end, do not sign.
So if I had a client, I just went through this yesterday, and it was all, the guy got his attorney to read it. They gave us a call, they said, we don't like this, we don't like that, and we talked him through, why are these terms in it? If he wanted to say, not to leave attorneys out, but if he wanted to say, hey, I don't want to pay an attorney, but I also, because I'm a small mortgage lender, I don't have a lot of money to pay legal fees, could he upload our credit agreement into his AI agent and say, hey, turn this into a podcast for me, and then give me a summary just like this, and tell me what are the risks, what are the high points?
Yeah, it is possible.
Amazing.
It's possible. And like
Contract becomes basically public information unless he's using a paid version.
Yeah.
so, Notebook LM, they guarantee that they are not sharing this information with anyone. So it's not shareable, but it is on cloud for sure. So we don't know, we just believe that, okay, when they are saying that they are not sharing our information, I believe them. Like Google, you can believe that. Like,
So that's a good point, Brad, because if someone uploaded ours or any other lender's contract into their, like Copilot, because we all have it, then it's public. I could then say, do a search myself, right, and say, hey, what would a credit agreement look like? Or what would a warehouse
It's
look
going
like?
to look
in
at
some
all
ways?
those other versions of contracts submitted and give you the lowest common denominator.
Yeah.
I think that's a good.
Actually, you cannot. So just for the Office 365 or Copilot, which we are talking about, so that is called M365 Copilot. And M365 Copilot has a tenant-based isolation. So if you have, like, for example, dragonvalby.com URL, and everybody is logging into your OneDrive using your own. So we use Microsoft, right? Office 365. So if I log in using my mthorley at awesometechinc.com, that is my tenant space. And they don't share that information with anyone. And if you're using Google for enterprise, like if your hosting is on Google, so they also have tenant-based. So those other companies, NFP, LLC, something.
FNNP LLC.
NFP, it's I always actually miss up. So that company actually, they have Google Enterprise. So they don't share that data with anyone. Again, training data is different than your own numbers, right? So they might have that data, but they use it for training. If their system is hacked, definitely then that's a different story. But for Copilot, no, it don't share your data. For Google Enterprise, it don't share your data. And for like, for your understanding, the notebooks which we have created over here, we can create a platform on top of that, the guideline which we were talking about. So if you go with enterprise, you can create those guidelines. You can create your own skin on top of that. That will ask to that 300 sources which you uploaded to the system and give you the right answer. Do you will
Yeah.
show that the guidelines also?
Yes. So, yeah, that is one example, right? I gave you. Then second example I have is a guideline, which I already talked about, right? So I can go and write operating procedures. I can ask questions, same thing like what we did with this one. I can ask questions in between. And
$5,000 a year. They boast a
so this is it is a very specific ask from my side. So it gives me that GIC financial blueprint. It gives me whole process, like how it's going to work, right? Macro environment, and obviously this is something, it depends on your prompting. Now, if I want to create something, I have two options. One is I can just go and ask system to do that, or I can ask a specific question that, okay, I want something, but give me a minute, actually. For some reason, I'm not seeing here a prompt, but you can ask a question that, okay, I need this report, create a own report, and then I prompt that, what exactly I want to look in it. Think about this as your assistant, or your intern, but highly paid intern, which like you just give instruction that I go read these all sources and get answer from me that I want to do something for construction loan, let's say. So you provide the prompt, what Surani shared with you, that you can provide a race prompt that act like a CEO and go and read these documents, and or act like a legal advisor, read these documents, give me exactly what I have to do if I want to introduce a construction loan or maybe conventional loan or maybe a warehouse line, what steps I have to take. And based on those documents, it will give you that information actually. So I say like this is a very good tool as your assistant. Don't think that this is going to do anything by its own. If you provide a right prompt, it's going to give you a right answer. Next one is LO concession. Like how in your mortgage companies you give the LO concession, right? When you have something, like for example, your loan officer comes to you and asks that, okay, my borrower or my prospect is getting 20 basis point off from other mortgage company. Can we do that? You have two options. One, just say yes, or other option is go and figure out, like, if I give 20 basis point, I'm going to make money or not, right? That is the bottom line. You go there, you check, like, so there is a whole process we were discussing at Supreme Lending, and I created a whole process for them, and I'll show you what it looks like. So there, if you notice, there are some audio discussions between the stakeholders. There are some infographics, which I already talked to them and created based on their discussion. Like this is all discussed with the stakeholders. There are some notes. I collected everything and I uploaded this to my Notebook LM. Now, I have a podcast which I can listen to when I'm on my way back home. Same thing, similar way. Give me a minute. So I can listen to that. I have a video podcast, which is like really giving me the same thing, and it.
We want to shift from these subjective, off-the-cuff conversations to objective, data-driven logic.
This is like explaining me how this is going to work. If you notice here, view custom prompt, right? When I click on it, it will give me that what exactly I asked. That's what I was telling you, that when you have something, you can ask them exactly what you need, and it's going to provide you that information. Now, this is a process actually. It created a whole PowerPoint presentation for me, so I can share with that mortgage company that how this whole process is going to work. So I'm just going to share with you. LO, log the borrower, BM, control the protect the PNL, right? They want to make sure that they are making money on this loan. Current stat, they receive a phone call, ignore the text, lost sticky notes, compliance risk, there are so many things. Future state is digital cues, data-driven logic, because they have everything from their they have everything from their secondary marketing, maybe like pricing engine, that what the margins are, how much they are making on the on that loan, and audit trail is there. So there is no like if you are not if you are making any wrong decision, you are liable for that because you can track that. And then system engagement. what we did is like really created a cell phone app. So loan officer just send the request from the phone that, okay, I want to give this 20 basis point. Loan officer, there's no emails, nothing. BM is going to receive the notification on the email, and they can go to app. They can either deny, they can approve, or they can negotiate that instead of 20 basis points, we can do 15 basis points, something like that. And this is how how whole process works. And it's all done with one single prompt. And if you notice here, it's like really, really nice presentation it created for us that, okay, this product is worth working on now. Any questions? That is the reason I like this product, because it's really does a lot of things for me. Anyone use Notebook LM?
I've used it.
You use all of them?
I've used it a few times. Sometimes I'll take, like a website like National Mortgage News or something, and just put in the website and then go listen to the podcast of what's going on in the mortgage world today.
Okay, I do a lot. That's like really, it helped me a lot for doing all this work on the daily basis. Think about it, like I had to go through these all documents and creating the presentation. It's going to take me at least half a day to create something like what I showed you, the presentation for the management. It created in few minutes actually. And then if I don't like something, the good part about this one is, like, let's say I have this product and I don't like, I can edit. And I can ask that, okay, change background color, let's say. You can do a lot of things, but I'm just, and I can just generate again. It's going to create a change the color and share with us in few minutes, basically. But I use audio overview a lot. Slide deck is one of my favorite, and then video overview sometimes, because it's like really, if I'm listening on the way home, I cannot go and watch that, right? So reports is very useful. Reports is like when you go in reports and you say, okay, you can create your own with the prompt. You can say, okay, I just need a briefing document on this one, and study guides, blog post. So let's say it's technical integration, right? I just did technical integration, and it's going to create a whole report for me with the technical discussion on that. So, and it's based on 7 sources I uploaded, and it's ready. It's a technical and a strategic briefing, the loan concession management system. It's like Optimal Blue, Blue Sage, Hydra, Aurora. Every aspect we discuss in the audio, it's bring all of them in my technical description actually, right? Investor guide, which is like no, sorry, this is not right one. Here, as I was sharing with you about the investor guide, you can ask any questions. right? So, for example, if I want to ask a question about anything, I just did actually for can I give my client a range of house value to buy? And it was a continuous discussion. This is an actual scenario. Yesterday it came. And scenario was I just received a call from one of my borrower. Their DTI limits are higher. I'm looking to purchase a home in the Florida area. Annual income is 70,000 gross, and I currently have debt obligation for 1,800 per month. 500 of that will be paid off by August, as it is a personal loan coming to term. I'm looking at options to refinance some of other accounts to get the payment lower. It will go in all my sources and read the guidelines and give me what we can do with this loan, actually. You heard about Guideline Guru or something like that, all right? You create your own. That's what you're doing, actually, here. It's not about like I'm killing their business, but they are doing the same thing. They are taking the guidelines, they are uploading those guidelines to your to their environment, and they are creating a wrapper around it. Surani is going to show you what we did with this. This exactly, like we uploaded the sources from Freddie Mac, and you can just query your questions during that. Surani, you have that, right? Yeah. So now, if you remember, I showed you something about initially in Gemini, I just created a prompt, right? To create, like, based on the financial, my reports, financial reports, balance sheet, P&L, and balance sheet, P&L, and cash flow, right? So what I did is I pasted here, actually. And how this works is I'm using the Claude, sorry, let me open the Excel here. It's going to kill that. So anyone use Claude? Any one of you? It's like $20 a month, but it's doing a work for me, which is like more than $1,000 for a day. If I'm looking at the financial analyst or CFO type person, I'm pretty sure we are paying very high salaries to them, right? And I don't want I'm not saying that we fire them, but we don't want to like waste their time where we can do it ourselves, right? So Claude is something which is like add-in to Excel. If you don't see a Claude here, there is an option in add-ins. You can search for Claude. And when you search for Claude, you just open it. And when you open it, at this time, I'm already logged in. But if I'm not logged in, it will ask you to log into Claude. This is a paid version. There is no free version for this. And I think they provide you tokens, which Surani was talking about. Every day, there is a refresh of tokens, and you can use that. So it's very expensive if you continue using that and you don't take care of the tokens. It's going to be very expensive. But $20 a month, and I just put that, okay, if there is a extra token needed, don't go over $5, something like that, right? So what I did is like I pasted my the prompt here, and this is what is happening. I'm going to share this on the video because it's like taking a lot of time to create something like that. It's around 10 to 15 minutes. So I'm just going to share with you quickly that how this works is I just paste it here, uploaded my files, which I downloaded from QuickBooks. And you are going to notice few things in, like if you look at the bottom, it's already start creating all the sheets for me based on the prompt I gave. It is like up till 25, and then after 25, it's all forecasted. And I gave that, okay, my goal is to reach here. That's my goal, right? So X numbers. How to do that? And it's going to show me that what gradually I'm going to get there where I want to be. And it's creating all this by one prompt. I'm just and in my end, I'm just going to show you the prompt, whatever I wrote. But at the end, I also said, okay, go ahead and create a dashboard for me. And it's going to create the dashboard. Nice looking, like really, if you notice here, it's this is the actuals and this is forecasted. It created the color schemes and everything by itself. It was not me who was doing it. And this is what it came up with, right? So. All my financial data, customer trends, ratios. It created everything for me to take decisions, basically. And even it added the notes for my, like if I want to share with someone. Any questions on that? We are going to share all the prompts with you guys, that how to do that. But when I say I'm using Claude, you need your Claude account for that. You can do it with the Copilot as well, if you already have something. I'm using Claude because I have a subscription for that. If I have a Copilot subscription, I just use that one. Any questions, guys? Yeah. Really, I don't think about that at all. Surani is going to touch base on that one because that is something he do. When I need something, I just go and pay. So $20 is nothing for me. So, yeah, for me, it's like really work should done. That's all my goal. So if $20, it's okay. Yes, sir. If you have any questions, please ask me. I'm here.
So we are like in the closing session for today, and we are going to talk about two things. Number one, I'm just going to show you a few things which we did, and like And the tools which I really love, I'm going to talk about those, and a couple of things which we do in our organization. I'll talk about that. Number two, the urgency, and I'm going to show you 2 to 3 use cases for why it is urgent to take like steps on this. And we are going to do a very quick use case activity. So this is our walks, Noor and my walks, and I actually upload those MP3s on Notebook LM and take tasks. So for example, this is one of the walk of a specific date, and I just ask that I can select one source, this source, and I can extract task from audio, be surgical, only work related item, because we talk a lot other things too. So only work related items, and you can see that it has identified that business development, sales, what we talked about, compliance operations, what we talked about, conference and presentation, what we talked about. Look at this, and we were talking in Urdu, so this is basically Hindi. So both of us has the same dialect. So it has actually identified from that specific thing, and so this is amazing tool. And Notebook LM says as Google that they don't share your data even in the free version too. So I trust Google a little bit, but it's your call completely. So to your answer, Notebook LM is a free tool, which is an amazing tool. You can upload your sources, audio, video, text, and everything. And from these all 29 sources, you can see what we talked about in all those walks. So these are the topics. I'm not going to open all the topics because so you'll identify that what we were talking. But these are the topics which we were talking about, and I can expand on any of these topics. So if I click on product development, it will show us that what products we talked about, right? So all the products, so I can actually navigate on 29, 30 sources. For free version, I can search 50 sources. So I can take permission and record the meeting and upload that meeting over here, ask for the tasks. It's really useful. Okay.
Remember, I was telling you that he catch me if I say something wrong because of this.
So for one of our investors, we did like 3-4 meetings in like 2 months, and from the first meeting to the last meeting, what has changed, we can ask that thing, and where they divert everything, it will provide. So Notebook LM is one of the tools. Claude, I use paid version because Claude do a lot of things. So let me show you why it is urgent, and we can be.
Is there any other tool available free? Just like
ChatGPT is free.
This question was for
ChatGPT is free. Claude is free. For Excel, for Excel you can add ChatGPT as an add-in. So that is free. Yeah, it's free. ChatGPT add-in is free. Add-in as well. Yeah. So and all of these people are actually giving away free to just capture the world, and we are getting captured. So this is one of the products that is called QR code generator, and this is only one example. So there was a company there was a website that creates QR code, and you can use those QR code on your conferences and everything. Bitly was the company who bought this $34 million. So primarily software is not the only thing. Definitely distribution is an important thing, but for developing that software QR code generator, I can build that software with one single prompt today. It's crazy, right? So I can ask Claude or ChatGPT or Gemini. What I can do is I can go to code and I can create a new session. Let me select open the folder. AI projects, maybe it's 52 QR generator, for example. So with just single prompt, what I can do is I can create replica of this website. So think about it, how crazy it is, and I will show you that what it actually did.
Shows that
So
$34 million was a big mistake.
no, but there is a distribution definitely. You have clients, so but important thing is we have to run fast on our platforms also. If we are giving even services or if we are giving products, we have to make our products better. At the same time, distribution is the only thing which will create a difference. Like if I have 200 customers, then that's a different thing, right? And if I have a product with no customers, it will not do anything.
Also giving you that how many tokens it's using.
So there is a product called Blotato, I think, blotato.com, right? This product actually does create social media posts for you all, right? But if I go and look at the pricing of this product, it creates one account for $97, right? And let me show you something. I go to my AI projects and I go a little bit downwards, and this is Blotato. I think this is empty. So I think it should be here. Blotato. I have created with one single prompt, same app which was charging $97 per user. And look at this, it has created everything. The entire website, and one of the versions which I have created, so it is creating the same content also. I can provide its black mode, so you might not be able to look at. I can ask him create for mortgage technology providers, and it will create posts for me. And there are how I wanted to frame it: hot take, listicle framework. I will go over with hot take, and I will click on generate post. So it's generating also with one single prompt. This is created by me by Claude. So think about it, if you have a product which you are not upgrading today, you are losing big time. So either you have to introduce with vendors, or you yourself have to work really fast. Otherwise, someone else is going to build something and lead your way. So this is like alarming position at this point in time. So while it is creating for Twitter, Insta, and everything. So it's like, look at this, 1.8K tokens it has used for that 34 million product. And let me come back here. So it has created, look at this, for LinkedIn, for Twitter, for Instagram, for TikTok, for YouTube, for Threads, for Facebook. Think about it. With one single prompt, this is my product built with one prompt.
You should change the name at least.
Yeah, right. So why Claude is important? Claude does couple of things, and if you really wanted to go with a paid version, I would recommend you should go with Claude, not ChatGPT, not anything else. Number one thing, Claude can create presentations. Noor already showed you Excel it created for you, right? Similarly, when I went to Claude, so so this website I created, I just provided Claude that build all the chapters and website for this specific book, and it did it for me, right? In a presentation for me. So, for example, if I go Control N, and I can ask that create a board meeting presentation deck with sample data, for example. I can provide my Excel workbooks, I can provide my meeting notes, I can provide the meeting minutes of last meeting. I can provide all of them over here, and it will create something for me. So it's asking what kind of I am a tech or SaaS, for example, right? 8 to 10 slides, how many slides I want. Corporate, clean, formal, or modern, bold, minimal. So I'll go with, and it is creating for me. And you can see my website is created. This is QR code generator, and I'm going to go to the folder and show you that what it actually did. AI projects, 52. And in next single page website, I asked it to do that. So it has created this thing for me. I can see over here, and I can provide my URL over here. So Awesome Technologies, copy, came over here. I provided Awesome Technologies. Oops, it created QR for me. And I created this website in front of you, which QR code generator sold in 34 million US dollars to Bitly back in time.
So the purpose of showing you all this is not because really it's ethical or it's not ethical, it's not a case here. Like what is ethical?
So I hope I haven't done anything unethical though, but again, it's like if I come to Claude and it is building the slides for me. So Claude is number one thing for Claude. It can work on Excel, it can work on PowerPoint, it can even work on Word document also. So I can just open any agreement. So for example, I have opened this specific outline, and I can or open a Word document over here, and I can go to Claude and do ask question to Claude. So Word, Excel, PowerPoint, those are the three things which it can do. Also, it can create code, which we have checked over here. It can also do a wonderful thing which is called cowork. So what cowork can do, like for example, if you all have like 100 files or 50 files in a folder, and if you wanted to consolidate those files, this case comes to us every now and then, right? And there might be, we have different columns in different files, but I want Claude to decide that which columns to actually use and which not to use. So you can use cowork also. One more thing, what you can do is you can actually schedule tasks. So you can tell to Claude that every Monday morning at 9 a.m. go to this folder, look at all the files, consolidate those files, create a dashboard for me. So it will do it for you. And look at one more amazing thing. So I had, what I did is, please don't look at the numbers, but let me show you something. So, so what I did is, so this is a folder where I downloaded all my credit card statements in CSV formats. So all of us actually have credit card statements, right? We can download those statements on CSV format. And I asked Claude what I asked. Let me show you first what I asked. So this is my credit card spending. I just asked a single question that go to this folder, create a dashboard for me, looking at all the CSV files, all files, and create your own categories. This is the prompt. This is the only prompt. And look at this, what it did. So it has created a dashboard for me out of all those CSV files and whatever I have spent, like what I have spent in 2023, what I have spent in 2024, 2025. And this is my category. November is the most expensive month for me, where actually I have spent food and dining, software and SaaS. So think about it. If I have to create it myself, it is at least a couple of days task, right?
Is it 3 years data?
So 3 years data, yeah. And spending by card and everything, so I have different cards, so Easy Credit, Master World card, whatever, and the amounts and where I spend. So I spend like 1.4 million with these guys, AAA accelerators, or whatever. So the Claude can do actually Microsoft Office thing, Excel, PowerPoint, Word. Claude can do code, which we have seen that it can create amazing apps. It can also do schedule tasks and co-work also. So finally, we are at the end, like we all have desserts with us, and like we have 5 sunbeds. I would like you to think that what you have learned today, what 3 things you can do after this learning when you go to the office. One is right away what you can do, like in 3 to 6 months, what you learn from this, like wrappers, agents, and everything. And it's not necessarily that you do it yourself, but you can hire a vendor, you can go to your development team, and a moonshot. This will just give you actually an idea, or at least a target what you wanted to do, and we can go from there. So we'll take, like, while you complete your dessert, you can either think or write somewhere what you can do right away after this session, 3 to 6 months, what you're planning, and what is your moonshot if you can do with using AI. So our side, and Karen and Nick, if you wanted to.
Yes, so Greg and Valby has been kind enough to raffle off a little gift for you guys. So I have put your name in here, Brian, and everybody else. So we're gonna pick, right? You gonna do that?
Sure.
Can you reach the side?
No.
Okay.
Barely reach the side.
It says Nick.
Jake.
Jake.
There you go.
All right. Can you vibrate? Sure.
Which one are we doing? First one or the second?
Yeah, we had 2 things.
Who we got? Okay,
Yeah.
we got
Yeah.
two
One
more.
more actually.
Okay.
What did he win?
Yeah. What did he win? Oh, what did he win? Which one? The first one, right?
The first one is
The magnetic charger.
bridge
Yeah.
magnetic charger.
Yeah. And now we're gonna go for the
Jake,
wine rush. That's for Jake, right here.
Right here.
Okay.
Now you can play with your AI too while you're driving.
While I'm driving, sure.
This is a really nice from Greg and Valby.
And we have a second one.
Oh,
And that is
Brian.
Brian.
Oh.
Look, Brian, you wanted wine, right?
One at a time, you got
You
it.
got your wine.
Oh, you got it. Good.
You wanna grab it?
How did AI do that?
Yeah.
It listens.
It was rigged. I should have done it before my
Yeah, I know. Wine at the unique classes. and a book on AI.
Make sure that you are reading this book.
It'll be a challenge.
Yes, I'd like for you to get the report.
Partially what I'm going to do is I'm going to upload the text into Claude
Yes.
and create a podcast.
It's already working.
By the way, there are tools for that too.
He should be a part of the next training.
There we go.
Awesome.
So the other thing I want to mention is we have a ton of food that we ordered here. So please take some home. You can pick from the menu what you want. We'll have boxes up for you guys and take it home. Memorial Day weekend is starting tomorrow, so you know, Karen, you don't have to cook for the rest of the weekend. So just let us know, and I'll let the help know what you guys want, and they'll pack it up for you. Cool.
Thank you, guys.
Well, thanks everybody.
Thanks
It's
for
great.
your time today. We are going to send you a survey, so please fill out that survey. And I have a request from you guys that if you have time, I need a little bit of testimonials. If you very
And just a video testimony.
Yeah. Right. So.
So, what exactly you have learned from this specific session?
Well, for me, I've learned how many powerful tools I have at my fingertips already that I'm not using.
Awesome.
And that really did spur a lot of ideas for me.
Sure.
For just my everyday work.
Sure. And do you think like any of these tools can actually double or triple your one or the other function in your business?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
very possible.
And a specific takeaway, like what did you like the most, like in the entire session? What exactly?
I liked just learning about the different, like I said, the different technologies that are available that can kind of shorten the length of time some of the tasks I'm doing currently. It can shorten the time that it takes to actually complete those tasks and to be more productive. The thing I thought was the greatest thing was the how you can take a presentation, or even like you guys demonstrated the Fannie and Freddie guidelines and being able to put those in, and then being able to have AI create the podcast for you that you can listen to while you're driving and stop it and ask it questions. I thought that was absolutely amazing. And actually, I think what I'd like to do is to do some of that kind of stuff for clients who call me with questions like that, where I have to go and look it up currently, and for myself, to send it to them and say, hey, just ask it questions. It'll tell you everything you want to know. That was amazing.
Awesome. And do you think anything which you are taking out from here will help your team also? Are you going to like what exact specific tools you are going to ask your team to use on a daily basis?
Well, definitely. I think the Claude for Excel I thought was amazing. We have Copilot, but to see if, hey, can what we have with Copilot work for us now, or should we use Claude? But either way, I mean, we use Excel so much as bankers, warehouse lenders, to analyze data that clients send us that I think could really be helpful for us to go and look at it for ourselves and say, hey, they may have to provide us projections, but can we do our own projections?
Sure.
And can we do different case scenarios?
So right now, like the consolidation and summarization dashboards, someone else do it for you? How it works at this point in time?
I either do some of this myself or someone's doing it for me.
But like how many hours normally it takes if you do it manually?
Oh yeah, I mean it could take 3-4 hours. Or if you put it into, let Claude do it, I mean you're talking minutes. So,
okay.
Yeah, I mean
Awesome.
amazing.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. No, you wanted to add
Yeah,
something?
thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
How was your experience here today?
It was eye-opening for sure. I think you hear a lot of things, but you don't really know how some of those things are applied to your day-to-day jobs. Yeah, I mean
So-
the looking at all the tools that are available and understanding how those tools are being able to use on your day-to-day work and interact with a lot of systems and platforms you already have, it's incredible.
So, what tools you especially like and want to use it like right away?
I think Notebook LM, the way it can summarize, create podcasts, presentations, you can interact with the podcast when you get documents or when you get contracts or when you get a presentation from a client that they want you to review. I usually commute about 45 minutes to an hour a day.
Perfect time.
So if I can do that in my office, jump on my car and listen on the way home, I mean, it will save me a lot of time.
Yeah.
And you don't have to print the document. You don't have to, like, everything is already there. The fact that you can add the sources to that, it's impressive.
The
I
good
hadn't
part
heard-
is like it's giving you the fact, right? It's not
Exactly.
hallucination,
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah, I mean that part is something that it is really interesting, and I'll start using. I actually already downloaded the app right now. So
Perfect. Perfect.
Yeah.
I love it. So you saw that
it's incredible. Yes.
What do you think about the other tools like Figma and how you are going to use it when you
I think the biggest takeaway of the presentation is for people that like us that we did not we were not in school when any of this happened. We started working and none of this was happening. I think there's a certain resistance about using them, and also maybe a little bit of fear about like, hey, can I upload this? What would happen? Kind of like losing that fear of, hey, just try it and see what happens, and just like get used to learning the prompts, because I think that's one of the things that it's key is like if you know the prompts to use, your information and your use of AI will be a lot better than if you don't know. It's not just asking questions. There's specific things and key takeaways on the prompts that is going to make the actual feedback a lot more usable for whatever specific thing you need.
do you think it's like it's to not to replace your staff, it's for augment your staff so they can
I think it's efficiency. Yes, I mean
You
I
agree
don't
with that?
I don't feel there's any risk in my job specifically. I mean, I'm a direct client contact and everything, but it could help me automate a lot of the processes that I do every day. Create summaries and presentations in minutes instead of hours, and just be more efficient with your time when you're in the office. Yeah.
Anything you want to say to our audience, like how they like what about the next one?
I mean, I think it's if you have a chance to spend half a day, which is not a long time, you will learn so much, and I would take the opportunity to do it without a problem. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you
for your time.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Brad, for
well, thank you,
time.
sir. Thank you.
What do you think about the session we had today?
Wow. You have just shown me how little I know and how far behind I am.
Thank you.
And how much work I need to do to learn.
What do you think? Like, is it like, are you going to use all these tools, or like any selection on the tools?
I think I will probably be using some of the tools. I haven't used the Notebook LM. I will look at that. And in my day-to-day, I already use Copilot, which is helpful. And because what I do is primarily legal-related research, drafting, writing. I use it as a starting point, and I do recognize some of the hallucinations. And I think the prompt today, like the grace and all those, the mode that you can ask to in terms of your prompt, I am not aware of that. Maybe a little bit of like, you are such and such, here's the role, do this for me. but I need to use that a lot more to leverage the
Do you
AI.
think this is all the tools we saw today is like to augment your staff and do much more than what they are doing?
Absolutely.
Equip them?
Yeah. I think like the writing standard operating procedures. Really, up to a few months ago, we are still writing those things ourselves from scratch. How silly! I can have somebody literally do a recording, and upload it. It can produce one for me in minutes instead of I had to wait for weeks for somebody to produce something for me. And this is going to change all of that.
Thank you, Brad, for your time. I think we are going to do this type of sessions a lot in future. And if you want to say anything to our next audience that they should attend it.
Well, thank you. You guys are doing a great job. I think this is about really about education, about showing how transformative technology can be, and a lot of this stuff is free. And if you can show people how to use them and leverage day to day to make their business more efficient, effective,
and scalable.
Yeah, and scalable. And I thank you. I probably speak on behalf of the audience today. People may be expecting something else, maybe like a sales pitch, but it turned out to be really just educational. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. What do you think about the session?
The session was very informative, and I really learned a lot of new things that I wasn't aware about. So yeah.
I wish they had a little bit longer time because I think I missed a lot of things which I want to share. But whatever we shared today, are you going to use those in your day-to-day work?
Yes, definitely. I'm going to start using AI right away. In 6 months down the road, I'm really planning to use AI in automating some of the stuff that we do on a daily basis, like the manual stare and compare document processing piece. That's something that I'm going to look into automating through AI.
Perfect. And I want to ask you, like, which tool you liked a lot actually in this whole. Like we shared around 4, 5,
I really
6
like
tools.
the Notebook LM because, like Mr. Nurani shared, that there's less hallucinations in that. And since we're in a law firm, we're a little bit more conservative, and so we really want to have that deterministic approach rather than probabilistic. So yeah, I like that tool better for my firm.
And I want to ask you one more thing that. What about the other stuff like Claude and Figma and all these type of? Are you going to write that? Use those tools as well? Or?
Yes. I really like Claude and actually using that, building the multi-agent workflows and connecting up with the APIs, and so doing more looking more into learning more about Claude.
One thing I want to ask you is there anything you want us to improve so we can do it in our future sessions?
Yeah, I think this was great. I mean, it was very informative, all the use cases and the system prompts and everything. Definitely more about agentic AI, because that's something I would really like to learn as well. So I know this covered a whole lot of generative AI, but...
So whenever we have a new session and we have agentic AI, we are going to...
Yes, I would love to attend that.
Okay,
yes.
Perfect. That's good. Anything for our clients, our future audience?
Well, I mean, we've been partnered with Awesome Technologies, and I just have all the good things to say about that. And if there is a problem, like you said, they have the solution. So, yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.